I got little wild dogs chasing bones around me. But happy Pride Month and happy June 19th. It's all coming up.
That's right. Happy Pride. I haven't seen you in a while. How have you been?
Well, currently I'm going through a midlife crisis, but other than that, it's great.
What's going on?
I was assaulted, so that's not too pleasant to deal with. I'm sure for no one.
Right. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm being strong about it and thriving past it, so it's okay. Thank you.
Well, let's talk about some positive news. Happy birthday.
Thank you. I'm seriously 30. I know.
You are. The last time we talked, we were talking about you turning 30. How did you end up celebrating?
So that was actually kind of sad this year a little bit because I literally am kind of suffering from like severe anxiety. I would say a lot of trauma, PSD, ADHD. I don't know. My body's really changed since the last time you've seen me because it's gone through so much recently. So sadly, it was not the 30th birthday I wanted, but I was lucky enough to get myself together on a yacht with my parents and go jet skiing with Sophia. It was a very different birthday for me.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the last year and a half with COVID and everything has really changed the game for so many people. And I know a lot of people have been experiencing, depression and anxiety in different ways. And I'm sorry to hear that, but, I wish you the best and want your 30th year to be a good one. And I think,
always, I appreciate.
Now that things are turning around, maybe that can happen for you.
Heck yes. I'm always like, I'll take all the bads and I'll make them into good. I've been through so much in my 20s. So I'm not stopping now. And I have good faith that the 30s club is going to be amazing.
Yes. Well, you talked about all the experiences you'd been through in your 20s and all the hate and criticism you received. How are you going to put that behind you in your 30s? And will you respond to things differently?
I think maybe we could, if someone were to look back and like fact check me and get those receipts on me, yeah. I think I very much cooled down after I kind of taken a break from reality TV. And I was the villain and then I turned into the voice of reason on my last show that I decided to take part in. And I'm very blessed though, when I look at my career in television, those were essential shows. That was showing mental illness. That was showing a girl's journey. That was showing like my sexuality and how I was changing and my confidence and not being shamed in any way. And also how to like rise above your exes with any negativity. So I really loved and enjoyed when I got to look back and kind of make some collages for my 30th. I loved my growth and I just look at other people and I am inspired to also hear their journeys and see their growth because I came from Iowa. Lots of people came from small places. Maybe we were closed-minded. Maybe we were judgy. Maybe we didn't know other cultures. And I'm really happy that I took myself out of the box. I've apologized. I've also had to just like step up myself. There's been a lot of growth and I think people should embrace that. 20s are those years. But how I'm moving past my 20s, Dream 20s, the book I just wrote, it's super therapeutic to me. I think everyone should write a book after every decade. It's really been helpful.
Definitely. Well, I want to get into the book, but I'm 34 now, and I can tell you, I think I went through a lot in my 20s. I can only imagine what you went through in the public eye, always sort of having to respond to critics and the trolls, as they say, on the internet. I know that the post you put on social media celebrating your 30th, fans were even criticizing that. I saw in the comments, they were sort of confused as to what the post was all about. Do you want to explain or respond?
Which post? I'm sorry. Which post, please?
I think the post on the jet ski, I think fans were just like, I don't understand what she's saying. Like, I feel like everything that you say or post gets looked at under a microscope, as you know.
Well, you know what? I loved my post. I actually like donated money to charity. I love the new charity button. So everyone should totally use that on their posts. I love working with brain.org to help other sexual assault victims. But yeah, even though I was having a very bad day, and I'm like, I don't want to cry, but I can't be in touch with my emotions right now. I took my pills before I came, but geez, that meant a lot to me though, to push myself, to put just even that small gathering together. For my daughter to push me to just get in like cold jet ski water. Like, I think me pushing hard to just like put a video up and be happy, like that means a lot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I can feel your emotion, and I understand, or I'm trying to sympathize with what you've been through. But obviously one of the strongest people that has been by your side, you just said, is your daughter, Sophia. How are you two doing?
Well, she's doing good. I'm so happy she's out of school. Mom's and everybody, dad, school break.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like we made it through the craziest COVID school year of our history of parenthood.
I bet. I mean, I can only imagine having to go through that schooling as a child, but even worse is the parents, I think, right?
I have had to severance our relationship with some parents. I think it was very stressful on some. My sister would agree. Right. But yeah, I mean, we came out like rock stars through this, and I'm very proud of my daughter. She definitely knows herself better. And oh my gosh, I have a tween. It's like not even like I have a baby. I have like a mini. She walked out of the house wearing all my clothes the other day. So wow.
Wow. How old is she now?
Sophia is the big 12, but acts like she's 16. So watch out.
I was going to say 12 going on 16. Has the last, year and a half through the pandemic made you guys closer, or are you fighting more, would you say?
I don't, through the pandemic, she was busy with school. I actually got another degree with honors. But yeah, we were so busy. I was busy with school. She was busy with school. We got to do road trips and see family.
Right.
I mean, we kind of fight like we're friends sometimes because I'm such a young, cool mom. But I think I always have a parent role. There are chores in this house. Like, you got to keep busy. We can't play games all day. So I don't know. I think that was the only struggle really for like our kids and our family, my nieces, nephews, her. You got to put away the games. We can't, be brain dead on that.
Absolutely. I know fans I love following you on social media because of your relationship with Sophia. Would you ever consider a reality show, just the two of you? And have you been approached for that idea?
I definitely have not been approached for that idea. I think when, I think when I left Teen Mom, I think there was a big thing of values. I'm definitely a part of the entertainment revolution when it comes to values, sensuality, women's perspective. Let's get those really heard. I'm just here for the good fight. And I think like a Joan and Melissa Rivers kind of thing. Yes. If it's nice, if it's fun, if it's light and just nice, I just don't want to damage my daughter in any way. And I think it's been such a beautiful opportunity to step away from TV during these years right now for my daughter. Like, those cultural experiences of going to Seychelles, Fiji, Chyna. I could never, I would have never thought in my wildest dreams that I could be the mom to give that to my daughter. And my daughter is turning out beautiful, and I'm really grateful for that.
She really is. And you have been such a good mom. Speaking of her, though, going from 12 to 16, does she have desire to sort of do that reality show with mom, or is she cool with the way life is now?
Sophia doesn't even want to post on her social media. Okay. I'm just like, so do you want to just disconnect and disappear from your supporters? And literally they have said why aren't you posting on Facebook? But I have to also say, legally and policy wise, Sophia is not 13, but Sophia, the laws of online have changed since Sophia obviously was born and on social media. So being that it sucks kind of for kids who are 13, they have all these limitations. I definitely respect it though, because I do see kids being taken advantage of online. Right. Let's not even talk about all the suicide with the kids online. I feel awful about that. So if it's good for her mental well-being to be away more, I'm all with it. I think when she's 13, it'll be more allowed. She does go to counseling and therapy now, so she'll be strong like her mom.
I love that. Do you think she's going to grow up and be sort of that like earthy hippie that wants to unplug and sort of get rid of social media?
I have to just admit, my daughter, I think, is like going through a gothic stage, which I totally support.
Ooh,
I totally love that. You know what? I love
that, right?
I love shopping at Hot Topic. Yeah. I love getting the blackout. Look, I'm wearing black right now.
Yes. I love that. I feel like that's going to be a good phase for Sophia. I don't know why I feel it.
Yeah, it's definitely fashionable right now.
Well, I want to ask about something that recently made headlines, and I was really shocked to read about this. And having interviewed you several times, I felt sorry for you, but I'm sort of glad it came to light because I think it needed to. And that was the tweets from Chrissy Teigen that some were directed at you, of course. Others were directed at other people like Courtney Stodden and others. You initially said that she needs to get mental help. Do you stand by that? And what do you want to say to her?
I looked at it. I looked into it more after I was like abruptly like brought this up. At that time when she was saying things, I was very like sex shamed and hurt in my life. And I had to go get like sex therapy. I don't ever think it's appreciative to call a woman who is bereaving and mourning, who also has like some crazy brain depression. A lot went on with me at that time. And a lot of people took advantage of me. I do not feel like it's okay for Chrissy Teigen or anyone to create or label people, especially sexually, in the wrong way. I also do see that she takes advantage of younger and vulnerable women. Maybe with mental illness, maybe we're going through depression. We're obviously trying to conquer other things and get through our lives and just grow up to be great women. I also just said congratulations to Courtney Stodden. I think it was yesterday, this beautiful and amazing, strong woman got married or got engaged. Oh my God, I hope I get to be invited to the wedding. But I have to say, mental health is not something to mock. I have 2 therapists. I have had multiple psychiatrists this past month and a half. I literally have 2 to 3 sessions a week. I've had to change my medicine so many times because it's just not helping the neurons in my head connect. I can't thank my therapist enough for helping me be strong enough to continue on TV, to help my daughter, to be somebody who others can rely on. And so do I stand by what I said? Yes, I do. Do I understand that there should not be someone on TV doing like a court show who can't even conduct themselves properly? Yes, I do. And I have a problem with that because she's raising kids. I have a problem with that because I don't want any other people who don't have a good sense of guilt to be in a position of power or impressioning other people right now. I think through COVID, people were so impressioned and they only want good, positive people. And if that means canceling some people from shows, so maybe they can go take time to actually care and invest in themselves and put themselves number one, then by all means, I hope Chrissy does that. But, you know, I take the time for over I think it's been 13 years now to always invest in my health, even if I'm not being assaulted, even if I'm not having the love of my life die. I always invest in that. So I know that when I'm taking advantage, when I'm dealing with some sexist situation or a legal situation, I have the power to take care of myself and everybody else on set and my daughter.
Good for you. That's great to hear. If she called and you knew that she wanted to apologize, no worries. If she called and wanted to talk and you knew she would likely apologize, would you take the call and what would you want to say to her?
I probably wouldn't say anything. I would just accept an apology. I do not hang out with the group. I would not accept that abuse. You know, my mother as well, my whole life, you know, she'll say some really awful things. And then we all apologize. Same way in entertainment, their circle goes round. I have just said, I will not be treated like that. I will not be in an abusive work environment, and I will not tolerate that anymore. So maybe I won't get hired, but I'm not being like really fired. So I just say, I don't need a call. And I never got even a message to be blocked like Courtney did. So I have to say, if someone's very much not sorry about for what she says, I could definitely just equally say similar things. But I think I'm just in a better place.
Good. That's great to hear. Did you speak directly to Courtney about the tweets that she said about both of you? Did you place a phone call and sort of hash it out with her?
I have been so busy and she knows that. So she actually messaged me. She always supports me in everything that I'm going through. And she just wanted to mention it to me. She didn't want to like screw up my day or trigger me. But I just said, you know, like those are negative thoughts. That is like what mentally ill people would say, and people who just want attention. You
mentioned about her getting canceled, and I want to ask you about cancel culture in general. Because obviously these tweets were from a while back, and of course we've talked a lot over the years about you getting your own sort of criticism on social media. Do you believe in cancel culture and someone like Chrissy being, quote, canceled?
I think she was like fired or just let go. I mean, I just say if it was fired, let go, wrongfully fired, whatever. Like, I think cancel is like the event was canceled. I wouldn't necessarily be, I'm not a canceler in that direction. I'm just like, if I say cancel in real life, it's like to a thing. It's to right. Like a, whatever, everybody's gathering and now we can't gather. But I don't really feel like saying anything is canceled because the world keeps going no matter what. Like if you want to hurt people rather than just saying, hey, go take the time for your mental health and invest in that. And you deserve that. And maybe that's what her team is basically just saying, like, take the time for yourself, relieve yourself. These shows are not going to happen right now because you need to go relieve yourself. And I also have to say, like, I believe it was like Toni Braxton. She really needed to take some time for herself as well. I do also feel like Wendy Williams needs to take time for herself, even more for herself. She's always attacking younger women, always attacking me and saying young women shouldn't have a voice. I would love to do a talk show where it's just me having power trips and taking just clips of shows and clips of people and just degrading them. You know, but I'd also love to have a show where it takes clips of shows and lifts them up and highlights if we have some addiction issue, OCD, ADHD, all these problems that I have, because that would be fun because we do some silly bad stuff, but we can talk through it.
Right. Speaking of that, if the booker for Wendy Williams called you this afternoon to come on the show on Monday, would you go?
Wendy Williams. Oh, I would love that. I would love I would love for her to actually apologize to me and to every other young woman who she has attacked on her show, especially porn stars that she labels me. So I really want everyone to have a voice, everyone to have rights, equally children. So I would hope like that could be a breakthrough for her.
Definitely. Well, you seem so well-spoken when it comes to, and you always have been, when it comes to women and mental health. You recently said that there needs to be more women in government positions. Does this mean there is a Farrah Abraham political speaker?
So I do have, I think it's Form 140, and I do apologize if my brain cannot remember everything, but I am very excited because I've taken the time, and I love legal stuff. I win legal stuff. And I'm working on my other degree right now on top of having so much fun with everybody else. But so I am going through and I am getting all of the forms ready, and I appreciate the government offices actually taking the time to really help me because I just take it so serious and my time. And if I am taking a pay cut, I have no problem with that. But that is also time away from my company. It's time away from everything that I do. So I am very blessed. I want other women and men and minorities, even though we may not know everything, there's so much. And also the fees. I really hope the government would lessen the fees because I know there's so many other great people who would be awesome in government But it's unfortunate that they do not have the support of the fees. And I also don't think you need to ask all of these sponsors to sponsor you and then be dictated by what they want you to do.
Right.
So I love good independence. People are just for what's right, good hearts. So moms with good guilt, tons of babies. I don't care how many kids you have. I think they would always be great people for the government. And I think when I see others who are committing crimes and not caring for their societies, like I've been assaulted by someone who did that, I asked myself, why am I not a part of the government? I mean, I went to city council meetings with my mom growing up. We changed historical preservation alliances. We helped neighborhoods. Like I am so proud already of the society work and history I've made. And just like in Hollywood, I love it. It's a historical district too. I'm obsessed. So I am just excited. So whatever happens, it will be a fit. I encourage others. I encourage other men. It's not about, I don't think it's always about women and men. I don't like men being sexist towards, I don't like being, you know, it's like I'm a mom and a dad. Okay. I wish I could just be respected for how hard I work.
Yes.
But I do love though, on that topic, I also do think, I believe Caitlyn Jenner is running for governor.
Yes.
And I actually think that is a powerful move and also enlightening, because I don't think I've ever seen a transgender, if I'm correct, a transgender be in a position of government. And again, that could be because of the fees, the politics, not helping those who are in touch with their sexuality and people not supporting that. So I am just grateful for that progress in society. And I very much am happy to see that. And I hope other men or even districts in like West Hollywood, I just would hope other people would feel confident to just stress themselves out and get through the paperwork.
Absolutely. You mentioned the paperwork. So what position do you want to run for?
I think, I would love to just be president, but everyone is
straight to the White House like Trump.
Woo! But no, I would love to be a speaker. I would love to also be like maybe a district chair. I would love to be a part of the Senate. I think the Senate was really a key and pivotal point in this last election we just went through, because I don't know if everything was fairly for the people who voted. And I also got to learn a lot. Like, you can already vote and then you can vote again if you're doing like college electoral stuff. And it's not in all states. So I just want everyone to be equally included. And I think the Senate has that power, and I think we should express that power and keep it equal.
Absolutely. You mentioned the assault that you experienced and the sexual misconduct, but you were so brave to come forward, and you came with proof, and you and 8 other women came forward. Were you scared to do so? And were you happy that you did?
I think a lot of women who get sexually assaulted are asked the same questions. I just want to go off on a beat and say, I couldn't sleep until I did do the right thing. I also was told for days by the girls who were with me, who I thought were my friends. Yet again, I have this issue, like I was wrongfully put in jail in the past. I thought I was old enough to know better, to not put myself in those situations. I tried to listen to my intuition twice and leave, and the women didn't want to support me in that. So I just want to say, lots of women I feel bad for, because they don't have women supporting them. They have women telling them, well, you don't want to be the girl who does that. Right. Don't do that before you go to authorities. Oh, he's a part of that political party. They're just making it up. Or he's into you. I don't know what the alternative motives are in my case yet. I'm in still state of and was drugged and knocked out. I want to just the other women who to be criminally charged. I am so sad for them, because I can't imagine what they've heard by their friends, or quote unquote friends, their parents. I'm shocked that parents hide and cover up their sons when they've done so many bad things over and over again. And I came from a family, and I come from a family where I've showed concern for my parents. I've taken them to trauma therapy when nobody showed concern their entire lives for this. And I'm happy I was that daughter. But when you think that something cannot happen to you, because I've traveled the world, I've been to gentlemen's clubs, I've been around porn stars, I've been around men, I've been around women. And then you know what? You're still targeted and you're still not strong enough. So I just want to say it happens to 1 out of 5 people. And I am shocked we don't have more funding for the kids at this. By the way, I go to the center probably every month. I have to still get my tests done. I have to still do the things like my jaw's dislocated right now and a couple other things. So I'm working my hardest. People may not understand. They may judge. And I don't know why things happen to me, like a sex tape. I don't know why things happen to me, like being wrongfully fired on Teen Mom. I don't know why things happen to me when I'm sexually assaulted and I'm about ready to walk out the door and I've already texted my daughter. But I don't know, maybe it helped give a voice to other people. And I appreciated the situation I was in. Again, when I was, I felt exploited in that whole adult situation. But then again, I'm an adult, but I was too young and wasn't ready for that. I helped other women who were there. I helped other teen moms who were there. And I'm helping other women who are sexually assaulted there. So God bless me.
Yeah, absolutely. God bless you. And thank you so much for your bravery, because when it happens, it needs to be exposed. And I can only imagine what that feels like. And just thank you so much for doing that on behalf of other women out there that need to, you know, look to others to know how to handle that situation, because I'm sure it's not easy. Well, let's talk about something happy and exciting. Dream 20s, your memoir.
Yes.
It's coming out. How did you pick the title? Let's start there.
Well, I think my New York Times best-selling memoir, My Teenage Dream Ended, was so valuable to me that I was like, well, and it's like still my best friend, everybody. And this next memoir is like my best friend. Yeah, I just didn't want to be like dream ended. I wanted to be like dream. So
continue.
So I just wanted to continue that. I don't know if I could do that in my 30s, but we'll see. So I really hope, but I also am so inspired all the time when I have all of these messages, a lot of people in their 20s, even my neighbors in marketing and all this cool stuff. And I am just so privileged that they ask me questions that I can answer and that I can support them with, and I can keep them happy through a lot of negativity. So yeah, I am just so empowered because I did have a lot of dreams come to pass, like whether it was 3 brick and mortar stores, getting my daughter a pink golf cart, who the heck knows, traveling, like the little things to the big things all mattered to me. And I think any dream that somebody has, and they don't need to be in their 20s to read this. I think my dad's going to read it for sure. He always has dreams. He keeps learning. So if you want to keep learning and growing, I support you. Yes,
absolutely. What are you nervous for fans to read in this book, and what are you excited for fans to read in this book?
Well, I get a little bit nervous about the legal things because I've always been wrongfully sued and attacked, but I'm going to just be frank about the things that I've been through with television. I think it's always been like one whole other narrative, just not point blank narrative. I think also when it comes to some of the parenting things that really affect us in our 20s, 20-year-olds give so much feeling, attention, weight, like let the bricks off the shoulders. Cause I said, when I come into my 30s, I can't do it anymore.
No.
So I think 20s should even be louder because you get to experience, you get to make all the mistakes you want, if you want to make any mistakes. And then it just rides off, it's gone by your 30s and you're then successful. And it's like, oh my God, I made it. And I am very fortunate that I've made it because a lot of my friends, suicide to drugs to every other thing. We've seen so much in our 20s. I don't want to ignore that. So you are a survivor of the 20s. You've made it. That's all I want for everyone else.
I love it. Are you starting to take notes now that you're 30 for the book that will come for this decade?
I might have to, since I can't remember stuff right now and everything. So thank you for putting me on notice, and I'll get
Just
on
a little
that.
notepad, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got to ask, as always, because fans are always dying to know, are you dating anyone? And if not, are you looking?
Well, I think I'm going to just be, again, honest. Because I feel like I've been so stressed out from the sexual assault and being poked and prodded at about what normal men look like and how normal men interact with me. So I did entertain some dates only to provide proof of how men interact with me. I know that sounds bad, but I'm really in no place for dating. I really am like, I am so honest with other people when I say I come correct. I got my SHIT together, like most would say. But when I do not, like I've never in my life had to do so much therapy, take so much medicine, work so much on my rehabilitation. And some days I am just physically in so much pain. That's not fun to go on dates with. I would hope I don't go on dates with someone like that. So I have gone on dates with, I'm just so excited for the LA Super Bowl, and I love my supporters over there. So I did dabble in a little date over there with that. But then I also dabbled in a date with like, you know, a very wealthy person. So I have to say, no matter what, I definitely understand. I get the same amazing treatment every time I go on dates, before, after, and whatever. But I truthfully do not pen pal. I truthfully do not keep relationships open, especially when I'm like, I'm not going to date you, so like go have fun. But I do appreciate the gentleman being my dating experience, truthfully, out of COVID. I didn't date. You know, it's been like really over a year. I stopped dating before COVID. So I'm just gracious to have gone on such dates with gentlemen. And who just show me what, like, look, this is what real men act like, gentlemen, consent culture. Yeah. And that's kind of tested with women who have been attacked and assaulted. So keep them on point, girls. Keep them on point.
Yes. And you definitely deserve that, gentleman. Is there anyone out there that you've dated in the past few weeks, few months, whatever it is, that stands out that you're keeping in touch with?
Again, I cut everybody off and said I don't pen pal. I know that's a little rough. I even leave the bouquet of roses at the date. Like I'm just like, thank you, but no thank you. I'm pretty upfront and honest. And I just think people are like, oh my God, like I don't know what it is, but I'm truthfully grateful to have excellent men in my life, to have excellent gentlemen. And I know there's amazing men out there, ladies. And I know there's so many single women, and I don't think anyone needs to be cut off. But I do think I would do a world of difference and help on The Bachelorette.
You really would. Would you do that show?
They actually should call me because I know people submitted me. I mean, it's kind of incestual. Sorry, I needed a break. Like they just keep picking the same people in or of each other, and it's kind of freaking me out. So I just stopped watching.
If they called and said, "Will you do it?" would the answer be yes right now?
For my moms and my grandma fans who've always said, "Farrah, you would be perfect on The Bachelorette," yes, I would do it for them.
Yes. Well, I think you should do it. I think we need to call ABC after this interview and get you on there.